It's not my imagination. I've got a gun on my back.
Attack Dicky, we go beyond the veil like Vicky. A small wonder, we don't stutter, still a little Nicky. It's tricky to rock around my time like Chrono Solo starter. We crush competition like Sergeant Slaughter. It's a steel cage match. We talk trash like Marjorie, then get to the point with archery like Shaft. The rotten Oddcast, the rat bats. No longer young blood, we transform into wildcats.
Welcome everybody, it's the R.O.T.N. Oddcast. I'm Famine.
I'm Professor White Heat.
And so for this episode, we chose the comic book, Gromit. Written by Rick Remender and Brian Posehn. I think that's how you say his last name.
I believe so.
With art by Brett Parson, who you might remember from Tank Girl, from around 2015 to 2022.
He wasn't the original.
Not the original,
but very similar
yeah.
style.
Love his artwork. Shout out to Brett Parson.
It's about a kid from out of town who moves to Sacramento and meets the outcast named Brian, who's supposed to be Brian Posehn as a teen. Anyways, they both bond over their love of skateboarding and punk culture and become friends. Then they meet the Gens and make a group who fight against cops and rival skaters.
And the best thing is, it all takes place in the mid-'80s, so everything is nostalgic in the background art. We have like the original Taco Bell, the original 7-Eleven. It is awesome. I love that whole nostalgia aspect of it. Speaking of 80s punk, let's get into our first track, which is JFA with Skateboard.
Brings us to our topic of this episode, which is
skateboarding.
So let's start it off with movies. There was a short film in 1965 called Skater Dater, which was about a bunch of skate kids. Like, they were not really a gang, but
kind of like a gang.
They were kind of like a gang.
Had like same matching jackets.
And they did not wear shoes.
No shoes. Skateboarding without shoes.
I think at that time that was just like a thing for
so.
skaters. I don't really know.
Me
Here's the thing about short films. Like, it's about skateboarding, it's about romance, and it's thrilling and it's really fun. I highly recommend you check it out.
Shot beautifully.
Did
it win some awards?
I believe it was nominated for Best Short Film that year, the Academy Awards. I'm not exactly sure.
You can watch it on YouTube.
You know who did check that movie out? Dwayne Peters.
U.S. Bombs.
Of the U.S. Bombs. They had a song called Skater Dater, and I didn't know that until we were doing research for this episode, and I found out about Skater Dater.
The next is a short from 1986 titled Skate Witches, about 3 girls who were punks who ruled a skate park, and you couldn't be in their gang unless you had a pet rat. It's pretty awesome. Again,
it is really awesome, and it looks like their favorite band is Susie and the Banshees.
I agree. They're kind of goth, punk. Yeah, it's awesome. 1986, check it out. Another short, amazing.
I wish it wasn't a short. I wish it was a whole
full-length
I wish it was
movie.
a TV show.
Somebody should write a comic on that, because I would love to read that comic.
I mean, where are the Skate Witches now?
I know, exactly. They had like matching leather jackets that had Skate Witches on the back. So cool.
So cool.
Yeah, I think that's how it started off with the jacket.
It should be a TV show. I would watch it.
I agree. Also from 1986, we have Thrashin', starring Thanos/Cable himself, Josh Brolin.
It might just be the best movie of 1986, if you ask me.
Really? Yeah, it was good.
Good? It's freaking great.
It was the 80s rolled into one. The music, the scenery, Josh Brolin.
Beat it, you Val jerk.
Exactly.
It's one of the best lines in a movie ever.
It was good. Yeah, it was like the what are they called? The ramp locals versus the daggers. And they had a downhill battle just like in Skater Dater.
It was like
there were so many downhill battle scenes in skateboarding movies in the 80s and 70s.
Well, it's for the drama.
Yeah.
It's for the drama of it all.
After that, we had Gleaming the Cube, starring Christian Slater, finding out who murdered his adopted brother, shot in Orange County.
Garden Grove.
Garden Grove.
I think.
I think there was the hotel scene was from Downtown Disney or like Disneyland Hotel of that era.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was really cool. Very nostalgic of that time frame. Best scene is when he like skates through the window, crashes the window. Remember that part?
Incredible.
It was like a steel skateboard. It's amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah. Good soundtrack as well. And I believe there was like some professional skaters in there, right?
They are. They have to have
Tony
professional
Hawk.
skaters in those
They had a lot of
movies.
people in there, yeah. I don't know if it was
Not
like,
just for the authenticity for the culture, but like just for like technical abilities. Like you can't just have any stuntman can't be a skateboarder.
Right.
You need an actual professional skater who can do stuff like that.
yeah.
Or so you would think.
Right.
I don't really know.
I agree.
I wasn't there, so I couldn't
No, it
tell
was
you
good.
exactly.
And then after that, we had Dogtown and Z-Boys, as well as Lords of Dogtown, with Heath Ledger in his second best role.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. He's so good in that movie. He's like a surfer guru, surf shop owner guy that like inspires the young skaters. I can't say enough good things about Lords of Dogtown.
I agree. And we can't forget Skateboard from 1978, written by the one and only Dick Wolf from Law and Order fame. First writing gig, if I'm not mistaken. We can't forget the Larry Clark trilogy, which is Kids,
Right.
Ken Park, and What's Up Rockers.
My favorite is What's Up Rockers.
Me
of
too.
Those three.
Charlton Heston shooting the kid in his
yeah.
backyard.
Yeah, it's messed up.
Yeah. Speaking of fucked up, let's get into our second track, which is the Adolescents and Skate Babylon.
Riding in the street, this is mine. Boom, like a rotten for the last time. Riding in the street, this is mine. Never again led by the blind. Straight in Babylon. Straight in Babylon. Straight in Babylon. Straight in Babylon. Ow! Riding in the street, this is mine. Food but rotten for the last time. Riding in the street, this is mine. Never get left by your blind. Straight in Babylon. Straight in Babylon. Straight in Babylon. Straight in Babylon. When I feel there's no way out, grab my phone and I head out. Escape Babylon, escape Babylon, escape Babylon, escape Babylon. When I feel there's no way out, grab my phone and I head out. Escape Babylon, escape Babylon, escape Babylon, escape Babylon. When I feel there's no way out, grab my phone and I head out. Escape Babylon, escape Babylon, escape Babylon, escape Babylon. When I feel there's no way out, grab my phone and I head out. Escape Babylon, escape Babylon, escape Babylon. Riding in the street, this is mine. Fool by corruption for the last time. Riding in the street, this is mine. Never been led by the blind. Riding in the street, this is mine. Fool by corruption for the last time. Riding in the street, this is mine. Never been led by the blind. Skate in Babylon. Never better skate in Babylon, yeah. Skate in Babylon. Come on, skate Babylon with me, yeah. Skate in Babylon. Skate Babylon with me, yeah. Skate in Babylon.
Love it. You know, one of my favorite moments ever in a movie is where Marty McFly gets a hoverboard.
Fucking amazing. Iconic.
It's funny because like it's the same scene from the first Back to the Future movie,
Right.
where he is also on a skateboard in that. When
Right.
he like actually lets a proper skateboard.
Isn't it like where he takes the scooter front part off and
Yeah.
he like turns it into a skateboard?
And then he does the same exact thing in part two,
Right.
but this time it's a hoverboard.
With the hoverboard. Rides on the back of a car.
And you know, as a child, like, that was huge. That was so amazing and blew my mind. And at that time, it was a big movie, so they had the special on Friday night, like before the movie came out, or like right when the movie came out, and they made you believe the hoverboards were real. I thought hoverboards were real. I thought it was a real thing.
I'm still waiting on my hoverboard.
I was so like disappointed when I found out hoverboards do not really exist.
They made the shoes. They can make the fucking hoverboard.
Well, they made replicas of the hoverboard, but not one that actually functions. But you know what? Maybe someday. You never know. You never know. Yeah. So have you ever seen Police Academy, Citizens on Patrol?
Police Academy 4, yes.
It's got young David Spade.
First movie.
And he skateboards in that. But it's not David Spade.
It's actually Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
Amazing.
They look nothing alike.
I know. It's funny because David Spade is super short and Tony Hawk is super tall.
They're both kind of blonde, though.
Yeah. But it's kind of funny that you can see like the different scenes on there. But it's pretty cool. Like I was watching an interview with Tony Hawk and they were saying in the filming of that, they shot in, I think, Toronto, Canada, I think, or something like that. And they were, like, given free roam to pick an area where they can skate. So that scene where they're, like, skating down the garage park.
Yeah, it's amazing.
They, like, actually picked out that location to skate down. It was pretty cool.
Dude, that issue of Grommets, they do the same thing.
I know.
And the way it's drawn is fantastic.
I know.
Yeah.
Grommets is kind of like an homage to
these all of this kind of things.
Thrashing, Gleaming the Cube, the whole 9 yards. Which is why it's so cool. What about TMNT?
I love turtles.
I agree.
Especially if they're on skateboards.
Especially if you're wearing like a skeleton costume and somebody asks you what your favorite Halloween thing is.
And I say that.
And you're like, I love turtles.
I love turtles. I do, and I love them when they're skating.
Exactly.
Which turtle is the best skateboarder?
Well, it's got to be Michelangelo. Although in the movie it wasn't Michelangelo. I think it was Donatello.
I think
that was
so.
skateboard or Leonardo.
I think they all can
skateboard.
rip it up.
Yeah,
dude. Yeah,
for
they
sure.
can all rip it up for sure.
But Michelangelo is a party dude. There's that scene from Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, that makes no sense at all.
Yeah, he's like,
for me personally, I mean, I get it. You know, the kids, teens. Peter Parker's a teenager, and teenagers skateboard. That's what they do. But in my mind, Peter Parker's a big nerd, and he does not even mess with that. That is not something he would mess with at all.
You know, Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker was like a different era of Peter Parker.
Yeah, they wanted to show you a different version of Peter Parker that we hadn't actually seen before. We've
Like
never seen him skateboarding.
Yeah. Especially, he's like skateboarding in a warehouse that has like hooks and a ramp or something like that. He's like skating off a wall.
Well, yeah, he's got to learn how to do his Spider-Man thing, but at the same time skateboard. Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah. It's weird. It's totally random. But anyways, back to nerd culture. What about the scene from Scott Pilgrim with Chris Evans?
That's probably one of the funniest parts of the movie.
I love
that. The whole part where he's fighting him is so funny, and that's like obviously supposed to be Tony Hawk.
Right. He like gets the coins.
Yeah.
And, like,
it's hilarious.
Amazing.
Yeah, that part was
gets
great.
His points, and then he has like his skate doubles, and he's like, "You can't paddle me in my doubles." And there's like a whole bunch of Chris Evans.
Yeah, that was a great part.
It's amazing.
That was very good.
Whenever
you see Chris Evans acting like a jerk,
I know.
is good.
Like in a Deadpool movie when he was fucking
man.
Johnny Storm, and at the very end of the trailer, or not the trailer, but the after credits,
it was very funny.
It was hilarious.
It was a very funny. There were a lot of funny bits.
Spoiler alert. Yeah.
But if you haven't watched it by now,
check it out. Yes. And then my very favorite skateboarding scene from a movie was from this low budget martial arts movie called Hard Ticket to Hawaii. And the scene that I'm talking about is there's this old guy whose nickname in the movie as a villain, his name is Skater. That's his name.
Yep.
And there's a scene where he's skateboarding. He's like handstanding, going downhill. Another downhill scene on a skateboard. It's always downhill in movies.
It makes it more dramatic.
I guess so. And there's the two main guys. If you ever seen the cover art for Karate Champ, that's what they look like. Like one's wearing a white gi and the other one's wearing like a red gi. Anyways, they look exactly like that. And they're driving in this like late 80s Jeep, and they spot him going downhill, and they're like, "Hey, there's that bad guy that we saw earlier." And the skater gets out of a car to skate again down the hill. He picks up a fucking rifle and a blow-up doll. and he like skates like he's holding the blow up doll hostage, and he skates down a
Is
hill.
there any reason in the movie why he has the blow up doll?
Just like every other scene in the movie, it is fucking weird and random and low budget, which is amazing. Actually, you put all those together and you got a fucking amazing movie. Let me tell you. But the best thing is,
yes,
they fucking the Karate Champ extras fucking pick up a bazooka, a rocket launcher, and they fucking shoot the skater guy, blow him up, and then the next scene is the fucking blow up doll in the air, and they fucking rocket launcher blow up the blow up doll.
Had to
Amazing.
get the blow up doll.
Last but not least, let's talk about the Bones Brigade movie, Search for Animal Chin. Shout out to Dusty Rose and Thrash Cats had a song,
They sure did.
Search for Animal Chin.
They did.
Maybe we'll play that in a upcoming episode. You never
Yeah.
know. It was directed by Stacy Peralta. And that brings us to our third track of the night, which is actually by Bones Brigade. And the song is called Skate or Die.
What a great way to segue into video games.
I agree.
Besides Skate or Die, there was 720, which was one of the best arcade games ever. It was
The cabinet was incredible.
It was very challenging, but it was incredible, and it had like a boom box.
Yeah.
It was part of the where the speakers were.
Amazing.
It was such a cool game.
The fucking bees.
Yeah, the bees would come out. Oh gosh, that was a great game. Very unique. It was
Really cool.
awesome. There was an Atari skateboard game called Skateboarding.
With an
Came out
N.
in 1987.
Yeah.
Skate or Die, also
Of
from
course.
1987, which was an NES game, and there were several sequels apparently, which I
Tons.
never played them.
Me
There
neither.
was Skate or Die 2, The Search for Double Trouble, which just sounds awesome.
Yep.
Skate or Die Bad and Rad, that's like on my business card actually.
That's on the back of your jacket,
It's
actually. It says
Bad
Bad
and
and
Rad.
Rad right
Skate Skate or Die Tour de Thrash from 1991. And I think that's all the Skate or Die games. We also had California games.
Love California games.
California
fucking
games.
hacky sack.
You could play. It's the only video game you could play hacky sack. And volleyball is another
Volleyball.
game
Yep.
that you could play. But one of my all-time favorite games that involved skateboarding was TNC Surf Designs Wood and Water Rage from
Love
1988.
TNC.
It was a very challenging game, like most NES games. But I loved
The characters.
It was all about the Steve Nazar designs.
Yeah.
Like why I remember as a kid thinking, why wasn't this a cartoon
I know.
that you could actually watch?
Did they ever make figure? Dude,
They
somebody,
never- I think
some
they did
toy
make-
company
they
needs
did-
to get together.
They need to make some figures.
Fuck yeah, dude. The Ska Cat character.
All of
fucking,
them. All of them,
Witch
dude.
Doctor.
The Witch Doctor guy.
The fucking
the cool-
Thriller Gorilla.
He's the best.
The caveman.
And then there's the
The guy with the sunglasses.
the
that
guy
was
with
like
the
a rockabilly sunglasses
guy. Yeah. We didn't mention Tony Hawk's Pro Skater,
The
which is probably
legendary.
probably the most iconic skateboarding video game of all time.
Soundtrack was incredible.
Yeah, the soundtrack is definitely, if you play those games at all, the soundtrack gets burned in your mind
For sure.
because you're just playing it over and over
Over
again.
and over, trying to get those like
and
tracks
it's like the
down.
same like 20 songs, and you hear them a lot. So yeah, Tony Hawk is pretty crucial.
There's a lot of other games, but we didn't want to get past anything like 90s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why we capped it at Tony Hawk's. I thought that was the most iconic out of all of them, the most legendary one. So like, fuck it, let's end it with that one.
Okay, now we have to talk about, ever so briefly, if you don't mind.
I don't mind.
We must speak about skateboarding toys.
Bringing it back to nerd culture.
Skateboarding toys. There's not a whole lot out there, but there are
there's
some.
only 2 that we found.
There are some. Now this right here, this is a tech deck, and it's
Fucking
just a
tech
miniature
deck.
skateboard that you skateboard around with your fingers.
Didn't they make like ramps?
They
for
made
them,
all
though?
kinds of crazy
like,
accessories and
fucking
what have
rail
you.
slides for them.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, they did. These are very addictive for people that have, like, remember fidget spinners? Stuff like that. This is like for
They were
people that...
before fidget
They
spinners.
were. Like, this is the same kind of concept, like, where you're just like, I'm bored and I'm just going to, like, fart around with this. Yeah. Big shout out to my colleague, James.
There we go.
He's addicted to tech decks. Anyways, when I was a kid, there was these very odd skateboarding toys.
Mm-hmm.
They were called Skateboard Smack Ups. They are from 1986, and
I wish I had a physical one right now.
I wish I had a physical one. I'm sure we'll show a few pictures.
Definitely.
But they were kind of like Garbage Pail Kids,
But like a tangible
but a
toy.
tangible little toy
Yeah.
that could roll around. And it was like somewhat like there was Asphalt Ashley, and she was like covered in like tar.
Asphalt. Yeah.
They were kind of violent
Very violent.
and like upsetting.
Yeah.
But it was the 80s, so who cares?
I agree.
Who cares? It's cool. And I thought those were great. I thought those were really, really, really
They're
cool
amazing.
toys.
Yeah. If you get a chance, check them out. They're incredible. You can say that the style was kind of like they were destroyed, right?
They would get destroyed. Because that's what happened if you fell off your skateboard or ran
Yeah,
into
you
a
would get destroyed.
plate glass window, I guess. You
I
get
guess so.
destroyed.
Which
Totally.
brings us to our next track, which is going to be The Faction, which is the bassist was actually Steve Caballero, the same person that got my first board.
Oh, yeah.
And this song is called Skate and Destroy.
Not capable to believe in something in my thinking. You agree that's cool with me, at least I'm not a robot. Not afraid of singly, I want to find my friends up. Get into civil people, that's not what I was good for. I skate on destroy. Let me never skate on destroy. Let me never skate on destroy. To the light. Coming after me, the sons of BMX. They always try to stop me, but your fingers can't compete. Maybe you had a party rock, rolling up your toilet. So who's surviving the right of you? So good. Not a couple bigger believe in something in my thinking. You agree that's cool with me, at least I'm not a robot. Not afraid of things to eat, I want to find my friends up. Say to simple people, find it out when I'm a trouble. I'm like, yeah, I destroy. Let the dark get in the door. Let the dark get in the door. To the front.
Now let's wrap this up with comic books. First off, we have Skaters, which was a French comic from '78, and Concrete Surfer, which was a British comic from '78 as well. Then we have Slate Skate from '86, Road Rash, put out by Santa Cruz Skateboards in '88, and Thrasher Comics in '88 as well. We have Shred Comics from '89, Street Angel from Jim Rugg and Brian Maruka, Fuck Off Squad by Nicole Gauch, and David Baker, Teen Dog, which is incredible. I love fucking Teen Dog
Dog was
by
cool.
Jake Lawrence on Boombox Comics, fucking Rad Wraith
Rad
on
Wraith
Scout
was
Comics.
awesome.
All the variant covers were homages to different horror movies. It was
Yeah.
great. The cover of Nightmare on Elm Street, my favorite one. Really cool. Anyways, And Altar of the Skate Gods by Barf Comics. Shout out to Barf Comics, still keeping alive today.
What about comic book characters who skate?
Exactly.
Well, there was Night Thrasher from the New Warriors.
Love Night Thrasher. Kind of like Robin.
He's like Nightwing.
Nightwing, rather.
He's like Nightwing, but he skateboards.
Baton.
And he's the leader of the New Warriors. He's a very underrated Marvel character.
After that, we had El Guapo from Ecstatics, who had a sentient skateboard, and he had a telepathic link with it. Fucking Mike Allred's stint on Ecstatics was amazing. A lot of fucking weird, bizarre characters.
Changed everything.
I agree.
It really
I agree.
was a complete
X-Force, Ecstatics.
It was a completely different thing than what X-Force was.
I agree.
And then it became its totally own thing that's almost like exists outside of the rest of the Marvel
I agree.
X-Men.
One of my favorite characters.
Universe.
Dead Girl, You Go Girl.
Yeah.
It was right up there like with Bulletproof Coffin, you know? It's so fucking weird and out there.
I'm glad you were talking about Bulletproof Coffin.
Yeah.
That is, I don't know if that has anything to do with skateboarding though.
I'm just saying,
But,
weird-ass comics.
Yeah, weird. It's
If
weird
you
as-
like weird-ass
weird
comics.
respect weird.
Yeah, exactly. Weird, respect, weird.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that. I want to get a t-shirt with airbrush like from the 90s that says that. With dolphins in the background.
Yes, but they got to be like a strange color.
Yeah. Like pink, purple, and baby blue.
But like zebra stripes.
Yep. Exactly. Don't copy that.
Oh,
That's ours.
man.
Once again,
Dude,
we're
that's-
coming up with these gems.
We didn't talk about Mondo Gecko.
Mondo Gecko from TMNT. Speaking of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles again.
And there was a toy of him. So
Right.
there was a toy. You know what? Actually, now that we brought up the turtles, there was a toy vehicle that was a skateboard.
Really?
But it had like a fan thing on the back.
That's right.
It was like a super powered skateboard.
That's right. I totally
Yes,
remember that.
I'm sorry, I don't remember what that vehicle was called, but there was a skateboard toy for
That's
your
right.
turtles, and theoretically you could buy 4 of them, and there you
For
go.
all the turtles.
But you know what else?
Did they have
had
little studs that you could put their feet in?
yeah, of course.
Yeah,
And
okay.
you know what else? Remember in TMNT the video game for TMNT, the arcade game?
Yeah.
There was a part in that game where they were on like
Skateboards.
hoverboards.
Hoverboards, that's
They were
right.
on hoverboards, and they made figures based on the video game
What?
specifically.
That's amazing.
And they all came with one of those hoverboards.
Fucking incredible.
Yeah, it was
I
pretty
hated
cool.
the sewer level though. That was so hard.
Well, you know, are you thinking of the original NES game
Yes.
or the arcade game? Because the arcade game was
Arcade
dope.
game was dope.
Dope.
Four
the
player.
the NES game is one
Hard.
of the hardest
Yeah.
games of all time.
It was
It's so
really
difficult. The
difficult.
part when you're underwater is
Yeah, so hard.
ridiculous.
Bringing it back full circle.
Indeed.
What we do is secret. Yeah, Mondo Gecko, punk, fucking bleached hair, ripped shirt,
Dude, actually,
skateboarder.
I think that if Darby Crash was in Ninja Turtles, he would look like
You are
Mondo Gecko.
blowing my mind,
He
dude.
is Mondo Gecko.
He is Mondo Gecko.
Is Darby Crash.
Darby Crash got reincarnated as a fucking mutated gecko.
Yes, that's what happened.
That's amazing.
So we're going to end this episode with
Okay.
4-letter words. Skate and Destroy. That is a band that...
Who are the 4-letter words?
4-letter words was a legendary slack rock band that are actually playing
August 30th.
This month, August 30th.
Hopefully this will air before that.
2024. I don't know when you're watching this, so
Yes.
maybe you missed it. Sorry. But yes, come on down. 4-letter words, slack rock legends playing soon. You can hit me up. I'll give you a ticket.
There you go. So where are you playing at?
I will be at the Garden Amp on August 30th in the locker room.
In the locker room.
It's the name of that. There's 2 stages there.
Okay.
There's 2 places where bands can play.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's wrap this up. Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment if we missed any of your favorite skateboarding related nerd culture references, comic book characters.
I
so on
heard
and
that
so
movie
forth.
Skate Kitchen is really good.
Fuck, I forgot about Skate Kitchen.
Yeah, Jackie recommends that one.
Shout out
for
to
sure.
Janky.
Yeah, she does. And, we also got to shout out Fat Collectibles.
That's right.
That's where
Thank
we're at
you
right
again
now.
for Fat Collectibles for letting us
Yeah.
shoot here. Shout out to Squelch, aka Explode, for doing the logo for our Oddcast, I should say. Thank you so much, Squelch. Really appreciate that. And let's get into the track. This is 4-letter words with Skate and Destroy.
Skate destroy, skate destroy. Skate destroy, skate destroy. Skating at the bird wall. Skating with Dustin. That boy is old school. Skate destroy, skate destroy. Skate destroy, skate destroy. Skate destroy, skate destroy. Skate destroy, skate destroy. Skating at Swampland. Skating with the represent. That boy beside us. Skate destroy, skate destroy. Skate destroy, skate destroy. Skate destroy, skate destroy. Skate destroy, skate destroy. Skate destroy and skate destroy. Skating at Royal Pool. Falling on my fucking ass. Skate destroy, skate destroy. Skate destroy, skate destroy. Skate destroy, skate destroy. Skate destroy, skate destroy. Skate and destroy.
Dude, Seagal out for justice. I bust this. Causing terror. Damage your whole era.